line. Good morning, Mikey.
So things have been bouncing around inside Choppy's head, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
You know, if you want to set up shop in Choppy's head, one good thing is there's plenty of room.
Yeah, set up
Plenty
Chop.
of leg room, stretch out a little bit. If you want to get in Choppy's
All right, appreciate
head,
everybody
if
for
the
tuning
rent's
in to the nation.
cheap,
Really
it's
do.
fantastic.
You can make
We're
snow
going to
angels
listen
up
to
there.
105.3 The Fan. They're going to talk a little
All right,
bit
Mike,
about the
get us
updates
set
and
up
news
for this.
about the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys.
Have had some horrible penalties throughout the year. Seattle is usually a highly penalized team. What do we make of this referee assignment?
All right, let's do Walt Anderson. And, of course, our friend Mark Lane always helps us out with this. That by reputation, it's Walt Anderson, the Cowboys are going to lose. But, in fact, Dallas's record when he refs is 9-9. Seattle's record is 8-6. The big thing that you get with a Walt Anderson crew, number one, you get challenges. That crew was challenged 13 times this year. That's the most. Number two, you get offensive holding calls. That's not good. 3.5 a game when Walt Anderson does your game. And then number three, Cowboy fans will remember that back in Seattle, January 6th, 2007, with the slick Tony Romo holding ball for the kick. That was Walt Anderson's crew, too. But there's no grand evidence that you're going to lose because of Walt Anderson.
All right, you sent us this note. The Cowboys are the youngest team in the playoffs, 26 years and 14 days. The Colts are the second youngest. In all your years of covering this sport, how much does the playoff experience really matter?
And by the way, that's a good Babe Laufenberg note. I was talking the other day to Antoine Woods, and he was saying it just doesn't matter to me. You know, he's saying he was making it sound like, you know, he's a crusty old veteran. I go, dude, you've really been in the league for 1 year. Just turned 26.
Yeah.
But you've been in the league for 1 year. What are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, I guess I'm trying to talk myself into realizing that it's just, you know, pants one leg at a time. We're the same as they are and all that. I do think if you talk yourself into that you can believe it. And I do think that's one of the reasons why the Cowboys played at the Giants the way they did, to continue ingraining good habits into one of the youngest teams in football. And again, Sean, and you, as you and I discussed, we didn't like the idea until it worked.
Good morning,
and now we'll see if it continues to work against Seattle.
So this plays into that youth versus experience thing, and you know, you just talked about that, but you know, how have you seen the youth versus experience play out in the postseason? You were here when they were just getting going in the early 90s with a young team.
Yeah, and that team in 1991 for sure, and then even in 1992 when they eventually won, they didn't know they were great. You know, revisionist history now makes it seem like, it was clear. I mean, it was clear they were going to dominate. They had everybody. They didn't know that at the time. You didn't know that Aikman was Aikman or Emmett was Emmett or Irvin was Irvin, and right on down the line. And this team doesn't know either. But again, the beauty of what happened in New York is now they think they belong. More than ever, they think they belong. Same thing at home. We can make fun of the Cowboys crowd at home if we want to, big whiteout, and all the talk, including from Pete Carroll, about how, you know, they're, you know, the wine and cheese crowd, kind of. I'm paraphrasing there, but we've heard this now for a long, long time. But I don't think Cowboy players think that. I think that they think, hey, we went 7-1 at home this year. We're good at home. We belong here. And confidence and belief in yourself, maybe that's a big part of the battle here.
Connor Williams going to start this game?
I think so. Su'a-Fili didn't do anything all week. Again, today is a Friday like a Saturday, so work on the assumption that Su'a-Fili is not going to work, has not worked, didn't even do walkthrough stuff. So while his ankle, to my eye, looked way better on Sunday night getting off the plane than it did 5 hours earlier in the locker room, it never got better over the course of the week. So plan on Connor Williams here, and obviously you have your hands full with their interior defensive lineman Reed and then Clark, a couple of pass rushers that are as good as it gets. And we know that Dallas struggles in this area, giving up 50 sacks plus. We also know that the Seattle defensive front, I think they're number 4 in the league in quarterback hits. So trying to keep Dak Prescott upright and healthy and relatively unharassed, that is obviously a pivot point in this game.
This guy, Reed, up front,
yeah,
he has 10.5 sacks. Jerron Reed.
Yeah.
10.5 sacks up front coming out of Alabama. Yeah. So that's a load. Tavon Austin scored a touchdown against the Seahawks.
Tavion.
How's he for this one?
I think along with Suafila, who we can probably rule as out, I think that we got a hint a little earlier in the week from Coach Garrett when he said, yeah, he might have, that groin might have bothered him a little bit or whatever. I don't think Tavion has done much this week. So, if you're trying to put together your fantasy, mix and match team, I don't think Tavion is probably a good bet for it. I also wonder how much room there is for, Cole Beasley and Tavon Austin in an offense. So does Tavon Austin return kicks and punts or at least punts? I'm not sure he even does that. I would not put him down as a prioritized guy this weekend.
Mike Fisher is our Cowboy Insider on the BuyerSafety.com hotline. I think I could argue that Doug Baldwin is the most underrated receiver in the entire NFL. What homework have you done on him?
Well, and with Seattle's offense and that quarterback, somebody's got to be catching the ball. And in fact, he lines up in the slot about 70% of the time. And so you know where he's going to be. And in the last few weeks, he's got twice as many targets as anybody on the Seattle roster. Twice as many. So they don't make any secrets or do any disguising with Doug Baldwin. They put him in the slots, and they're going to throw to him. And Anthony Brown and company needs to figure out a way to solve that. And if you solve that, maybe you go a great way to solving their passing game. Because when we watch Russell Wilson this year, first of all against Dallas earlier, and against Chicago, and against Minnesota, teams that we think of as being playoff caliber defenses, those have been then the games where he's struggled. So there is a formula for this quarterback, and part of the formula is solving Doug Baldwin.
Let's look at this offense. How is the Cowboys' running game going to factor against Seattle's rush defense?
Yeah, and feed Zeke is a really easy call here, and he's so fresh and so ready to go. But that doesn't mean it has to be boring. It doesn't mean it have to be Zeke off tackle, Zeke behind the center, Zeke off the right tackle. It doesn't have to be that. You look at what Seattle's done in the second half of the season defensively. They've given up on 161 carries, 826 yards, over 5 yards a carry in the second half of the season. So there's a give the ball to Zeke formula from the Seattle side. Here's Dallas' side. Again, season second half. Zeke, courtesy, by the way, of Evan Silva. Zeke finishes second among all running backs in targets, catches, and receiving yards in the second half of the season. So what we've been saying, Sean, for a long time about why can't you make him Le'Veon Bell here? Why can't you make him Todd Gurley here? Garrett and Linehan in the second half of this season have absolutely done that, and now they'll try to do it against a Seahawks defense that gave up the NFL's sixth most catches and third most receiving yards over the course of the year. So they are vulnerable in this area, and here comes Zeke.
I'm going to ask you the most unfair question of the season right now. Of the offensive plan, give me the pie chart breakdown of influence between Garrett, Linehan, and Dak.
Heavy Garrett.
Okay.
Because it's his team. Even Linehan's offense is still Garrett's offense.
Yeah.
And so if we're talking about the playbook as opposed to a game plan, which can change week to week, like I think last week's game plan was more heavily Garrett than usual. But this is Garrett's playbook.
Yeah.
Married with Linehan and then increasingly tailored to this quarterback. So, I mean, it's 70% Jason Garrett.
But is that a drastic – do you think what we will see tomorrow combined with the Giants game is a drastic change in input from the entire year?
I do not. I think it might be a lot like last week when we've intensified what the offense needs to do and intensified how much time the head coach needs to spend over on that side of the building. I think that did happen in preparation for the Giants game, which was really preparation for this game, and I think that's probably happening again this week. I think Jason Garrett is spending more of his time making sure that the offense is where he wants it to be as opposed to the defense as they walk around coach. But we should add this, too. They also have some special team concerns.
All right.
The kicker in the 30s and the 40s struggles. Get him from 50 and 60, and he's fine.
He's good, yeah.
You'd like to fix that. And then as we addressed earlier in the week, Sean, they want to make sure that their punt and kickoff return guys aren't reading as they run. They just want them to run. And so I can't spread my head coach too thin. I think the defense is fine. Head coach, get over there with the offense. Get over there with special teams.
Fish, let's get a prediction.
Uh-oh.
I've almost
17.
not budged all year long on 20-17 somebody.
Right.
I really think the Cowboys' home crowd is going to be just fine. I think we will drop our wine and we will drop our cheese and we will drop our brie and we will drop our crumpets and we'll clap and we'll cheer and we'll wear white. And I think it'll help the Cowboys, who are 7-1 at home this year, win this game 20-17.
There it is. Cowboys Insider.
Every
Mavericks
week.
Insider. How many times did you vote for Luka in the All-Star voting?
Shout out to Luka.
It's kind of funny because he's not really the second.
Oh, buddy, Cowboy Nation, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I got to say this. Thank very, 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 very much. I have to say this. Thank you, 105.3 The Fan, and Mike Fisher. He is a gem. Appreciate you all that's tuning in to this nation. Sheila Neal, April Stanton, Janiqua, Mike. I see you over here, Leroy, Jeremy. Appreciate you all. 901. Appreciate everybody for tuning in early this morning. I hope you guys got your coffee. I'm still making mine, so so I'm not all the way up right now. But here's the thing, and this is the thing, and this should be the thing. All we got to do is I'm going to sound like a broken record, is take time of possession, TOP. That's what we got to do. Shout out to OGs, man. What's good with you, man? Thank you for tuning in, and thank you as well for making the donation to help grow the nation. Really appreciate it. In HE 2016, not 17 or 18, but 2016 HE. Appreciate you for tuning in. If we control and focus on the things that we can control on, time of possession, the defense, everybody, we know what Walt Anderson is. A lot of people said, okay, hey, he didn't call the helmet-to-helmet call on Kamara, but he also was the guy that called those crazy calls against Randy Gregory, offsides and the roughing the passer and all this stuff. And what was the other thing? The other thing was like when Randy Gregory was trying to block the punt kick. So I don't know, but Walt Anderson is Walt Anderson. He loves to be a part of the officials. His officiating is one of those things where he got to be on the spotlight. he want to be able to say, okay, my crew called the most hold calls, or my crew called the weird pass interference, the PI call. So we get those things from time to time. But what we need to do is just focus on the things that we can't control. And it's one of those things where it's, to me personally, Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, he should play like a madman. The first game that we played in, week 3, he had those fumbles. And he was out of bounds at one point and caught the ball and pretty much scored that touchdown, and everybody was like out they seat, and I was crunk. I was like, yes, baby, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish, right, and the tyranny of evil man. But blessed is he that is in the name of charity, right? I said all that to look back that his foot, not a piece of his foot, his whole foot was out of bounds. But it's possible, guys. The Jaron Reed into the inside. Don't sleep on that guy. I liked him coming out of college. He's a aggressive, physical, can shoot the gap real quick. And where's our weakness at on this front offensive line? On that 5, the weakness is on the inside. Now, this is the only thing. This week, Saturday, tomorrow, he won't be going against a little rookie. This time he got a guy he's going against that's a little bit big, stronger to me. Maybe not as big, but just a little bit stronger, right? Xavier Su'a-Filo is a little bit stronger than Connor, because we go back and look at week 3. Jaron, on one of those tackles, on one of those sacks, he actually grabbed hold into the inside like you want to do and picked little Connor Williams up and just said, okay, look, I'm your daddy now, and tossed him to the side and said, okay, and I'm finna go get this guy who's perpetrating to be your daddy. It's Dak Prescott. And he knocked Dak Prescott down and made him he made Connor Williams his baby, right? So we don't need that to happen this week, or I guess tomorrow. We don't need that to happen. Yes, indeed. Live like 2019, 5,000 watts. Yeah, appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Yes, Deion Sanders, appreciate you for tuning in as well. Rogers trying to make sure that one is one and done. This is from Leroy with Walt. Man, Walt, what? We are 9-9 with him, and it's still favorable for the Seattle Seahawks. They're 8-6. with Walt Anderson. So we're gonna have to figure out if we're relying. These are two things that we do not need to happen with us. We do not need to rely on the officials to help us out. We don't need that to happen. And then on top of that, if you add this into the picture, we do not need to allow Brett Maher to win this game for us. We got to go out there and take control of this game, because the worst thing that I can ever think or imagine is Brett Maher wide right with a 33-yard field goal. I that would just make me crazy right now. And then on top of that, us looking at the officials saying, "Oh, wait a minute, that's supposed to be holding," or that PI on the opposition, blase. This type of game, playoff game, they might let them play. They might allow the defensive back to be draped all over the cornerback. They may allow those things to look out for that things. Look out for those things. Yes, indeed. I got a wolf howl over here. I'm gonna get it right for you today. Let me get this wolf howl ready for you. But we got to let these guys know that we coming out here lock loaded and ready. All we got to do is punch them in the mouth. D-Law, you heard what the guy said. Look. He feel like sometimes slapping the mess out of everybody. So we got to get that going too. We got to figure out a way to get things going in the right perspective, in the right way, and it can happen. Let me go get this stuff. Yeah. Hey, John, what's going on? I think I murdered your name, but shout out to you. Oh, yes, indeed. Hey, it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. All we got to do is stay focused. We got Jalen Smith. He needs to be right. LVE, he needs to be right. I do know a lot of people talking about, hey, what about Sean Lee? Look, to me personally, I love Sean Lee. Matter of fact, I don't wear jerseys with other people's name on it. That probably be one of the only people named that I could go out there, and I know a lot of people said Snake Lee. I might go get his jersey just to wear just because. But to me personally, you stick what got you there. And what got us there was that number 55, double nickel. Yes, I'm glad I was wrong about him, right? And also number 54. You keep that chemistry going, no way in the world you just go and say, okay, let me change it up, because I know for sure that Sean Lee is a guy that know how to play against Russell Wilson. I don't want that. Look, as much as we love Sean Lee, it's been a long time since we seen a running back run up the field 50 and 60 yards down the field. Let me know. Remind me. Go back and find me some film and tape when that happened, when LVE and I'm about to say double nickel, but when number 54 and LVE was out there. I will wait. I'm waiting. Pull out the tape and let me know. But this is the thing, Cowboy Nation. All we got to do is stay focused. Don't try to get too cute. Play our style of football. Byron Jones, hell, if you can't get your head around, don't try to practice it now. Play your style of defense. It worked out before, so keep doing what you need to do. Cheeto Woozier, keep doing what you need to do. And then on top of that, Jeff Heath, come on. Get a little lower on your tackles. Don't tackle too high, because you already been baptized last week. So we don't need for you to get double dipped and baptized this week. So when Carson comes, he's more of a bruiser running back. Try to tackle him in the midsections or in the chest area. I know some people mind goes south when I say midsection, but this is the midsection right around the torso area. So that's where we need to be aiming for. That's where we need to be going. Yes, April. Yes. We got those animals now. Yes, Lee be a linebackers coach next year. Yes, Greg. Yes, I agree. Suafilo is doubtful law. This is from Slash Rocker. Man, my goodness. I hope that doubt returns into he's playing. Wrap that ankle up and put him out there, because even at his even at his partial ankle is stronger than any part of Connor Williams' upper torso at this point of his career. Connor is still growing. Now, although Connor played well to the right guard, but we already got a staple piece at our right guard. We do. Marlon, appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Didn't that happen with versus the Colts? I see. Could I be wrong? No. What happened against the Colts is two different styles of actual. Look, this is what I love, and I'm glad you brought this up, H.I. This is what I love that you guys brought this up. The Colts offensive line, I'm going to say that is light years ahead of what the Seattle Seahawks. Those guards was getting to the second level. They was pulling, and then on top of that, could Sean Lee disengage against those guys? I wouldn't put that up. I wouldn't put that on my 401k, as my guy Colin Cowherd would say. But this is the thing. they don't have the type of – the Seattle Seahawks don't have the type of guards that the Colts have. And then on top of that, those guards would get into the second level. And, yes, of course, LVE was not able to disengage against those big burly guys. But I can tell you this one thing right here. I can tell you this right here. The Seattle Seahawks don't have a Marlon Mack that can catch the ball out of the backfield and then skirt and move upfield. Carson kid, yes, he's a nice runner, but he's not a guy that's going to catch the ball out of the backfield and run. I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm seeing off the tape. He's a guy that's north and south. He's a guy that needs momentum to run. And then on top of that, we talk about dink and dunk and passing. They dink and dunk and running. They don't get like these explosive 10 to 20 yards. It's more like, hey, we need to rally pursuit to the ball, gang tackle, because they only average about 2.9 yards a carry or something like it's some ridiculous low number. But they are the type of team that likes to run. They old school, they gritty, they grimish, they gritty. They like to do that old school run, play action. Okay, we're going to take them deep down the field. And that killed the other week, a couple of weeks ago, that killed the Kansas City Chiefs. That old school football when they'll punch them in the mouth and they're running up the field with these 2 and 3 yards. And then all of a sudden, play action time, RPO time, and they was getting the ball down the field to the Baldwins of the world and the Lockett kid. And they got some other nice little receiver that can catch the ball and when needed. So it is what it is. Let's go, man. Let's let this thing go, Cowboys Nation. Let's get crunk. Don't forget to put down your score prediction. Don't forget to put down what your thoughts are of this game, what we need to do to turn things around, how we can score, how we can win, what we need to do. I love to hear your thoughts. I love to hear you all opinions of this matter. Let me just check right back to them before I get out of here, just in case they're talking about anything else important. Let's see what they're talking about
since
now.
My introduction to fiction class in college.
Oh, they're talking something else. All right, so with that being said, I want to touch home I just want to bring home to this one little point right here of what Stephen A. Smith said the other day. And I know this is all the way off topic. I know we talk about the Cowboys. But to me, guys, don't be listening to Stephen A. Smith rants. Please don't. The guy don't mean half of the things that he say. And I get a lot of people that inbox me, hey, Law, what do you think about the NFL and how they treatment of black folks and stuff like that? Look, we already know that a couple of weeks ago, Stephen A. Smith was crying and saying that, hey, the NFL or the Bengals should fire Marvin Lewis. Now they go around and they fire Marvin Lewis. Oh, it's a travesty. Oh, it's blasphemous when they fire this guy. And we already know, come on, collectively, Cowboys Nation, we already know Todd Bowles as a coach. He's not one of those guys that can walk on water and things like that. He had his time. He had his fun in the sun out there for the New York Jets. Come on now. So I don't like the fact that he uses this to make black folks look like we're always a prime enemy. Of course, we got 70% of the African-American community that's in the NFL. But to me personally, look, it is what it is at this point. Yes, Vince Joseph, yes, he was fired. He had a lot of time out there for the Denver Broncos. One can argue the fact that is to say, well, no, but you can look back at Denver Broncos history. They never had back-to-back losing seasons. And if they have that as their bar or as their measuring stick and say, hey, regardless of what color you are, we're going to get you out of here. We want to go with a new philosophy. This don't make that organization a racist. And then on top of that, of course, one can argue the fact that the Arizona Cardinals of the world or what have you didn't give that brother a long time. Maybe they saw something in that coach that they said, I'm not finna have a Marvin Lewis type of coach for several years. We want to move on. There's nothing wrong with that. To stop making it a white-black issue, Stephen A. Smith. I just can't stand the four-letter network when they do that. Then they talk about the minority ownership. Look, from my understanding, if you had $4 or $5 billion, if you got the money, you can go buy a team. Nothing out here is given to you guys. I don't want this nation. I don't want everybody to think that everything should be given to a brother. No, you got to get out there and earn it just like everybody else. And then on top of that, if you got the money, if you want to buy an NFL team when it's open, and if you so happen to be a minority, then you put your money into the hat. You got the same opportunities as everyone else. Now, is there multiple billionaires out there that look like me? No, there's not. Are there multiple billionaires? They just got their billion. Why would they want to put all their money to join a club that really is not predicated for them to join, basically? That's my whole argument with Stephen A. Smith. He gets up there on the stage, and I'll try. I come with this energy every day. But, man, you don't even know who the players on the team, and you get mad because the coaches get fired. Come on, man. It is what it is. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the nation. Look, let's keep this thing fair and balanced. Don't just throw a segment of people under the bus because they got some. You know what I mean? Look, they got money. Look, go back, listen to what I hate to use it, but Jerry Jones. Look, the brother had to, and I'm calling Jerry Jones a brother. He's no racist bone in his body, right? He had to go out there and bag, stretch by hook or by crook to get the money to buy the Dallas Cowboys. They were losing $1 million a month almost, or something like that, or a day or something like that. The Cowboys organization, the NFL or something like that, was losing money. Cowboys was up for sale. He had to go scratch and borrow that money to get to buy this team. It's nothing to do about the color of his skin. I hate when people use that. And the Jaguars owner is minority owner too. Yes, Daniel Manza. Yes, appreciate that. So it's all about, look, guys, if we work together and join each other in this brotherhood, regardless of what you look like or what race what I guess creed you believe in or what race you are from, as long as everybody, I tell everybody like this too, even with Dak Prescott, you and I and everybody in this chat box, we all are here for one reason, right? Because of that silver and blue. I might not look like you, you may not look like me, but damn it, if you cut us, boy, we gonna bleed that silver and blue. We gonna throw them hands though, but we gonna bleed them silver and blue. I'm tired of people like Stephen A. Smith gets on national TV and gets all of that publicity about the white man put me down. Man, be proud that you got a seat that you sitting in and you get a chance to speak to millions and millions of people. Because the white man put you in that seat, right? But he's going to go all the way back and say, look, guys, it's not about the white versus black. And I hate that this country is divided like that. But all we need to do is just worry about this right here. We all blessed with 24 hours a day. And what we do at that time is everything. Let's keep that on your mind. That's why when all of my videos at the end, I say, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Let's get on out of here, man. Let's stay crunk. Let's stay positive about everything. Let me go ahead and get you guys ready because we're going to have to be locked, loaded, and ready for this game tomorrow. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Yes, let's go. Let's keep that same energy, baby. Everybody blessed with 24 hours. How about that, huh? Let's utilize that time. Let's focus. Let's rewrap our mind. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Always a lady. Appreciate you. Virginia Finest. Salute. Christopher. Let's go. Let's ride with this thing. Oh, geez, what's up, fam? Leroy, let's go. Watch how that hook coming in. Yes. Go, Cowboy Nation. Let's not worry about this stuff, man. Keep that same energy, baby. Let's go. Those who've been with us when we were 3 and 5. Yes. Talking about you all right here, right? Still wearing whatever you wore then, we can wear it now, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Grab your coffee. I didn't get mine yet. Yes. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Yes. Opportunity is all around us. All we got to do is growl it. Growl, bite it, chew it up. Go, Cowboy Nation. Yes. Let's go. Rise up to the occasion, Cowboy Nation. We got only one chance at this thing now. 4 more games. All we need. Keep that same energy. Let's go. 4 more games, baby. Let's go. And remember, you all are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.